1527. Decades before the Spanish Empire officially charts the Tornaviaje return route, the Luzon-Visayas Coalition is preparing to launch the most daring maritime crossing in human history, which was to cross the Pacific and into the new lands of Americas, connecting the new continents in a way that shouldn't be possible in this time and age. A feat that shouldn't have been possible, or even in the mind of someone that came from this part of the world. While European powers were trying to create their hold within the New World and Asia, no one was planning to attempt such a massive voyage. The Datu, being a man from the year 2025, knows of America and how much untapped resources are in the lands that the dominant naval powers of the world would one day take chunks out of it in the near future.
Through the lens of history, the established powers of the West had already deployed waves of settlers across the eastern fringes of the great landmass. These incursions included the foundations of the 13 colonies and the sprawling territories of various Iberian and French colonies. Yet, for the western side of the continent, it would be free and ripe for the taking. An answer to the loss of trade from the mainland. But a grand strategist does not win a campaign on paper. He wins it in the supply lines. Such a journey would be dangerous and time-consuming. Such a journey would require an intense amount of preparation, along with new ships, and most of all, provisions that won't just fill their holds, but also their stomachs in the voyage from the Philippine Islands and towards the New World. Historically, the early Spanish, Portuguese, and English voyages across the Pacific were harrowing campaigns of slow death. To cross the largest ocean on Earth, the coalition cannot rely on traditional open water rations. Datu Horizon Actual understands a fundamental military truth. An army marches on its stomach, and a trans-Pacific fleet would have to sail with this in mind. To bridge the 8,000-mile expanse of cold, unyielding blue, the Scout Ranger must lead a quiet revolution in agricultural science and food chemistry. He must transform the abundant harvests of Luzon and the Visayas into the world's first standardized, high-energy, long-duration military rations. An indigenous, organic MRE, one that will have to be sourced from the lands of the coalition and would be easy to make and hard to be destroyed or spoiled in the waters of the Pacific. One that will sustain the crew days under the sun.
To build a long-duration ration, Horizon Actual looks not to 21st century chemical preservatives, but to the ancestral preservation wisdom of the islands, upgraded with modern food safety metrics. The Ranger sets the parameters on his tablet. Food must be highly caloric, lightweight, resistant to tropical mold, and easily digestible. First, they secure the protein. Under the Tondo Accord, hunters from the Luzon interior deliver massive quantities of wild boar, venison, and domestic carabao. Instead of simple salting, which dries out and ruins meat under the hot tropical sun, Horizon standardizes the cooking method that would one day define the nation: adobo.
Adobo, before it got its name, was already a well-known food or meal in the archipelago. While now it is completely known by the name the Spanish has given to it, this dish is already a well-known and loved dish in the island.
By simmering the meat in native, high-acidity palm vinegar, sukang paombong, sea salt, wild garlic, and crushed black peppercorns, they achieve a double action barrier against decay. The vinegar drops the pH level below 4.6, creating a highly acidic environment that completely halts the growth of lethal anaerobic bacteria, while the natural oils from the fat seal the proteins from airborne oxygen.
For the maritime crews, they harvest the ocean. Tons of high-protein mackerel and grouper are gutted, heavily salted, and laid out on flat bamboo drying trays along the glittering salt beds of Cavite. The intense tropical sun bakes the moisture content down to less than 15%, creating dying, a dried, salt-cured fish that can withstand months of humid storage without spoiling. Simultaneous with the engineering of these high-density food stocks, the coalition must commission a naval vessel capable of ferrying heavy naval supplies and seasoned mariners from the Philippine archipelago to the untamed coastlines of modern-day California. The mission necessitates the construction of a new class of vessel, engineered to withstand the violent typhoons and unrelenting swells of the deep Pacific. To cross the abyss, Horizon unveils the Class-1 Karakoa-Galleon hybrid, a revolutionary fusion of ancestral agility and deep ocean endurance. The hull retains the low-drag, multi-hulled architecture of the traditional Karakoa, but scaled for the Pacific, stabilized by massive outriggers that defy the violent swells of the open sea. At its center, a deep-draft galleon-style hold provides the structural spine, housing thousands of wax-sealed bamboo canisters that act as ballast, stiffening the vessel against the deep. Built from native hardwoods and bamboo composites, and sealed with flexible, resin-based indigenous waterproofing, these ships do not merely survive the crossing, they command it. It is not just a vessel, it is a declaration of engineering sovereignty. But a ship, no matter how structurally advanced, is merely wood and resin without a crew forged in iron. The Datu knows the Pacific does not forgive weakness, it swallows it whole. He initiates a rigorous training regimen, the rites of the abyss. This is not mere seamanship. It is extreme psychological and physiological conditioning. The crews are pushed to the edge of human tolerance. They are drilled in extended breath-hold maneuvers to execute hull repairs in open ocean conditions and endurance rowing to maintain progress through the deadly doldrums. Above all, they are instilled with the discipline of the ration, the rigid mental fortitude to consume only their exact, calculated caloric allotment. They do not merely sail, they operate as a seamless, high-endurance machine.
Carbohydrates are the engine of the voyage. But boiled rice spoils in a single day in the humid hold of a ship. The coalition returns to an ingenious traditional agricultural food, pini pig, a well-known delicacy found all across the archipelago. On the open sea, the sailors will not need precious firewood or heavy stoves to cook. A handful of lightweight pinnipig soaked in cold fresh water or coconut water swells instantly, rehydrating into a highly nutritious, energy-dense meal in minutes. But the real breakthrough lies in the packaging. 21st century military rations rely on multi-layer plastic and aluminum foil. The coalition uses the forest. Under the Rangers' guidance, fresh banana leaves are lightly toasted over charcoal fires to render them pliable, then coated in a thin layer of melted, high-purity beeswax.
The cured adobo meat and dying fish are wrapped tightly in these treated leaves, completely sealing them from moisture and oxygen. These organic foil packs are then slid into hollow segments of raw bamboo canisters. The bamboo ends are capped with tight wooden plugs and sealed shut with another thick layer of melted beeswax. These organic foil packs are then slid into hollow segments of raw bamboo canisters. The bamboo ends are capped with tight wooden plugs and sealed shut with another thick layer of melted beeswax. The coalition has created a completely biodegradable, waterproof, pest-resistant, and drop-proof military ration canister. An ancient canister pack that keeps food fresh for 6 months on the open sea. As the final bamboo canister is loaded into the hold, the logistical puzzle is complete. The coalition fleet does not set sail in desperation, fleeing famine or seeking survival. They sail backed by the systematic, industrialized abundance of a unified territory. They carry thousands of metric tons of clean, fresh water sealed in charcoal-filtered clay jars, dried citrus fruits to completely eradicate the threat of scurvy, and the standardized bamboo rations of Mactan's workshops. Datu Horizon Actual looks out at the vast golden Pacific. The tablet's battery is running low. The thoughtful modern databases are fading. But the systems of survival are now permanently etched into the culture of the islands. This voyage is not just an exploration, it is the ultimate assertion of sovereignty. They sail east to find the new world. Fueled by the gold of their hearts and the steel of their resolve. They sail for a future of absolute freedom. They sail for Ginhawa.
My brave men. The time is near, and the journey of a lifetime beckons us. To the far east, a land of riches awaits, free from the hands of the Chinese and the various invaders from the west. We take this voyage to not just secure our lands from the yoke of outside power, but to secure our lands for the better. Heed my call, brave soldiers of Mactan. Let us set sail and show that we are not just a people, but legends in flesh. Ready yourselves for the rough seas. Brace yourselves from the elements, and let us bring riches and stability to our islands.
This has been a tactical situation report from Philippine Horizon. If you want to see how the coalition settles in the new world, hit that subscribe button and join our community.